Corey Lee's Boxing, and we are back with another banger. So please smash that like button, you guys, and subscribe. And yeah, man, we're gonna talk Jaron Boots Ennis, man. Jaron Boots Ennis, he he fought, this past Saturday, man, and he looked pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, he looked pretty good. He destroyed, David Arnesian, you know what I mean? And he picked him apart, in less rounds, technically than Terrence Crawford. And I think he was trying to make a statement. I think he was definitely trying to make a statement. I think that he was, out here, trying to just, at this point in his career, he's trying to make a name for himself. And I think Jaron Boots Ennis, selling out, I believe, out there in Philadelphia, selling out the arena. I believe it was 14,000 plus in attendance. Smash that like button as soon as you guys come in. I think it was 14,000 plus in attendance. That's pretty damn good numbers, man. That's really, really good numbers, man. For Jaron Boots Ennis, man, and for any boxer at this level. I think he could be possibly, one of the biggest draws in the welterweight division. You got Mario Barrios, you got, Brian Norman Jr., which not a lot of people know. He's respected. He should be respected, but not a lot of people know him. Because he's still young, but he does own a piece to the puzzle. And then you got Stanionis. He's a good fighter, as well. And then you got Jaron Boots Ennis, so, out of those four, being that, Jaron Boots Ennis just, did really record-breaking numbers, in Philadelphia. His hometown, his home city came to support Jaron Boots Ennis, man, and that's awesome. That's awesome. I think a lot more boxers, should study the blueprint of Jaron Boots Ennis. Jaron Boots Ennis was not scared to do interviews. His father, Boozy Ennis, he definitely is not afraid to do interviews. He does not mind doing interviews. And you got some guys out here, man, that are up and coming, man, and that they don't really want to do interviews. It's like you got to track them down for you to get an interview. For one, we're not, if I'm getting an interview from you, 9 times out of 10, I'm not getting paid for it. So I'm not trying to, make a whole lot of money off of this joint, man. I just love the sport, Sorry about that, man. We are back, man. Somebody tried to... It's always somebody calling me about something, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. Jaron Boots Ennis looked pretty good. This past Saturday night, and like I said, in Philadelphia, record-breaking crowd. He did his thing. He did his thing. He stopped him, which his father, was saying that he could possibly stop him in 4. Some people were saying, 7, 8, you know what I mean? But his father, must have really knew what he was talking about, because he was not far off at all. And some of his interviews, he might have said, rounds 5, and stuff like that. So right now, man, Jaron Boots Ennis is top guy right now at 147 pounds. I don't think any of those other welterweights can beat him right now. I think Stanionis, is a good candidate, to give Jaron Boots Ennis, some troubles. But I don't think Mario Barrios, see, Brian Norman Jr. is to be honest with you guys, man, he's kind of the dark horse in this division, because he's undefeated. He beat a guy that he wasn't quote unquote supposed to beat. Some guys were, I believe he could have been the underdog going into that fight. I'm not 100% sure. But I know some people that didn't bet on Brian Norman Jr. that night. and stuff like that. And he won, he won a piece of the puzzle and so he's on, all of the champions' radar now. And I'm pretty sure he has his eyes set on the champions too at 147 pounds. Ever since Terrence Crawford left the division, you guys, it is wide open. A lot of these fighters right now, fighting in today's time, have been avoiding each other. I don't think that, Jaron Boots Ennis should be avoiding, or is trying to avoid any of the champions. And I'm gonna be honest, man, Mario Barrios is a warrior, man. I mean, for him to still be on top, after taking crushing losses, to Tank Davis and stuff like that, and I believe he's got one or two other losses. Those are kind of crushing. Those are kind of crushing losses. They can definitely hinder a fighter's, trajectory. And, the way he goes about his day-to-day life, being that he's gotten stopped before. And some fighters, they're able to just, weather the storm, because it's a lot that comes with the fighter getting stopped. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. But shit, we just seen Ryan Garcia. A lot of people say what they say about him, but a lot of people, Ryan Garcia did, win that fight. I believe they're going to reverse it now. But that night, I seen Ryan Garcia damn near stop Devin Haney, and he already had got stopped his damn self by Gervonta Tank Davis. So we've seen guys that Gervonta Tank Davis has beaten actually come back and perform pretty well. That says a lot about Gervonta Tank Davis, being that he's still so small at 135 pounds. He's fought at 140 a couple times, but still fights at 135. For him to actually stop the current, one of the current champions at 147 pounds is just wild as shit to me. You know what I'm saying? It's just wild. But it's just God-gifted talent, man. God-gifted talent. And the dedication and the drive to keep going, for Gervonta Tank Davis and Mario Barrios. Because Mario Barrios could have packed it in. After he getting stopped by Gervonta Tank Davis in a crushing fashion, a lot of fighters could have, packed it in after that. I've seen numerous accounts of fighters getting stopped and never fighting again. Never fighting again. Never getting into that square circle. But, I feel like right now, the 147-pound division is wide open. But I think that, the door is shut a little bit because Jaron Boots Ennis is in it. But that's my clear favorite at 147 pounds. But anything is possible. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. And right now, we don't know how many fights Jaron Boots Ennis is going to be at 147 pounds. But we do want to see him fight the other champions. He does still want that Terrence Bud Crawford fight. I wouldn't mind seeing that fight, you guys. I would not mind seeing that fight. I think that's a really good fight. I think that Jaron Boots Ennis versus Terrence Crawford. Right now, I'm favoring Terrence Crawford, but it's not by much. It's not by a whole landslide. I think Jaron Boots Ennis could possibly put up a better test than Earl Spence Jr. Maybe Earl Spence Jr. was just off that night. Or a lot of people say that accident had a lot to do with that night. So we got a lot of questions, and we're going to get a lot of answers here in the next, I'm going to say in the next couple months, not even couple months, probably in the next year. I think the next year or two, we'll see what's going on at 147 pounds and 154, because, mind you, Jaron Boots Ennis might have to move up to get some of those real good, real life-changing paydays. They're at 154 pounds. You got Earl Spence Jr. You got, Terrence Crawford. We still don't know if Jermell Charlo can make the weight, or if he even still wants to be at 154 pounds. Mind you, he was the 154-pound champion, and now Earl Spence is fighting for pretty much his old belt. And it's wild, but because when he went up to fight Canelo Alvarez, he fought Canelo Alvarez at a higher weight than what he was fighting at 154 pounds. And so he was able to keep some of his belts, but then some of them got dispersed. So, like I said, we don't know what Charlo's going to do. I think he does add some spice to the division. I would love to see a Jermell Charlo versus Jaron Boots Ennis fight. I think that is just got fireworks written all over it. I think that's got fireworks written all over it, man. Jaron Boots Ennis versus Charlo. Yeah. I don't want to see the Charlo that fought Canelo, though, man. I didn't think that Jermell Charlo was the best version of himself. I'm not even going to say the best version of himself. I'm not going to make any excuses for him. I just think he did not perform, I feel like, at that top tier level. I think he gave Canelo Alvarez a little bit too much respect. And you can do that in boxing. You can do that. You can actually give a fighter too much credit, too much space. But once he got knocked down, and I think it was a couple other times when he felt, Canelo's power, he kind of got off the got off the stick, man. He just, pause. All right, y'all. So I'm about to get this quick workout in, man. I did want to talk about the fight real quick. I did want to put my, what I think about the fight and put that on record. I think it was a good fight. I think that, Jaron Boots Ennis, he did what he had to do, and I think he did well. I think he did very well, and I want to see what he does in the future. I want to see him, unify the 147-pound division, and I think he can do that. I think Jaron Boots Ennis can do that, and I think he will do that. I think Jaron Boots Ennis right now beats Mario Barrios. I'm not sure if he stops him, but he beats him. And that's a testament. That's a testament to his fighting power. That's a testament to his fighting power. But yeah, man, you guys smash that like button and subscribe, and definitely, without a doubt, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. This is Corey Lee Boxing, and you definitely been hit with another bang.